Ladies and gentlemen, Americans are suffering from COVID virus depression. I would like to thank one of my subscribers, Adrian Thomas, for this story. This came out on Yahoo News, August 13th, 2020. Pandemic has driven Americans to depression and drinking, CDC says. The coronavirus pandemic has led to a marked deterioration in Americans' mental health, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Study made public on Thursday. That study, which surveyed 5,412 Americans, found that 40.9% of respondents reported at least one adverse mental or behavioral health condition. According to the new study, 31% of respondents were suffering from symptoms of anxiety or depression. 26% experienced symptoms of trauma disorder. 13% were using drugs or alcohol more heavily or for the first time to cope with the pandemic. And 11% had seriously contemplated suicide. Younger adults, racial, ethnic minorities, essential workers, unpaid adult caretakers reported having experienced disproportionately worse mental health outcomes than other groups, the study concluded. Well, we always have. We always have, but our trauma did not come from COVID 19. Y'all, a few centuries too late on that. Their findings represented levels of psychological distress higher relative to pre pandemic levels. Anxiety symptoms tripled in incidence compared with the same period in 2019. The incidence of depression symptoms quadrupled. The rate of serious suicidal thoughts doubled in comparison to levels reported in 2018. Significantly more than 90% said they were not being treated for anxiety, depression, or post traumatic stress disorder before the pandemic struck, meaning that their symptoms arrived with the coronavirus and its attendant social disruption. Addressing mental health disparities and preparing support systems to migrate mental health consequences as the pandemic evolves will continue to be needed urgently, the author of the study said. But with much of the nation still under lockdown, state and municipal governments strained, and people desperately looking for both work and childcare, it is unclear just what a response will look like or how effective it will be. People of color, oh boy, have suffered disproportionately from the pandemic in terms of infection rate. The pandemic is also more likely to leave them suffering from psychological ailments. Suicidal thoughts is significantly more frequent. Okay, Hispanics were also likely to suffer from symptoms of anxiety and depression than their counterparts in other demographic groups. 40.8% of Hispanics reported such symptoms. President Donald Trump has repeatedly urged states to lift lockdown orders, arguing that the social isolation they foster are more detrimental to public health than the virus itself. The study by the CDC makes no evaluation of measures like lockdown or countervailing measures like reopenings, but it does suggest that the effect of the pandemic has been detrimental to the American psyche. The survey was undertaken between June 24th and June 30th. By that time, the coronavirus had killed tens of thousands in the New York metropolitan area and moving south to Florida, Georgia, and Texas, where it would kill thousands more. In recent weeks, the pandemic has also penetrated the Midwest, while also continuing to take toll on California. The conversation about mental health came to be earlier this month when former First Lady Michelle Obama admitted that the pandemic, combined with images of police brutality and Washington politics, were causing her anguish. All right. The New York Times put the matter bluntly, and they said that, many people in this country are currently struggling with all kinds of distresses. And there was a tweet storm from Los Angeles based writer Susan Orlean, whose adventures with Rose were a reminder of a highly musing. So, what they're talking about is she is now drinking more, and I don't care about that. Okay. So, just how will the nation emerge from the pit is unclear. Trump has promised a vaccine before the end of the year, but the time frame has been widely described as overtly optimistic. Most experts believe that the current state of affairs will continue into 2021. So, ladies and gentlemen, Americans are depressed and they are drinking alcohol a lot more. Suicidal thoughts and a lot of anxiety over the coronavirus. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Do you feel any of these things? Any depression or anxiety? Are you drinking more? What kind of impact is the lockdown having on you? Let me know in the comment section. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.